Hi everyone, and welcome to our BA Honours Immersive Media and Mixed Reality Online Open Day event. So I'm David McClellan, the course leader, and we're also joined by Margaret. Margaret is a third-year student on the course. Hi there, Margaret.
Hi, hello.
Hi. And unfortunately, nobody can see you.
Yeah, I do have to apologize. I don't have a camera, but I'm here.
Cool, that's great. Okay, so today I'm going to go through some information about our college and the course. So first thing that you're maybe asking yourself is, why should I choose London College of Communication to study immersive media? So, well, first of all, because through our industry-focused courses in design, media, and screen, London College of Communication is a world leader in creative communications education. The communications sector is evolving rapidly, particularly in the field of immersive media and mixed reality. And so we enable our students to develop the skills needed to succeed as future-facing creatives and to be the next wave of innovators in the creative industries. Also, London is ranked as one of the most creative cities in the world for art and culture. Known for its many galleries, theatres, and vibrant music scene, it is home to artists, designers, and musicians from around the world and boasts a large creative industry sector too. So we are one of 6 colleges at University of the Arts London, and UAL is ranked number 2 in the world for arts design education by the QS World Rankings. It has a huge global influence and reach across international creative industries, with a large number of notable alumni, including the likes of Alexander McQueen, Gilbert and George, Richard Hamilton, Stella McCartney, Anthony Gormley, to name just a few. It also has a huge diverse body of students from 130 countries from around the world, making it a really exciting and vibrant college to study at. So BA Honours Immersive Media and Mixed Reality is part of the Screen School within London College of Communication. Other courses within the school include film, television, animation, sound arts, and games design, and game arts and visual effects. So we like to encourage collaboration between the different courses disciplines in order to mirror real-world creative environments, which I will talk about more later. So you can see an overview of the diverse range of courses offered by the Screen School here. These are divided into programs. So we've got film and television, moving image and digital arts, and sound and music. So moving image and digital arts program. So the BA Immersive Media and Mixed Reality course sits within the moving image and digital arts program, alongside other undergraduate courses, BA Animation, BA Games Art, and BA Games Design. And students are able to participate in an array of seminars and workshops from the other courses too. So BA Honours Immersive Media and Mixed Reality. So the course covers a diverse range of topic areas, including virtual reality, augmented reality, and 360-degree filmmaking. So students learn how to create immersive media content and interactive experiences for art, design, entertainment, film, games, heritage, and simulation. So students will learn how to create virtual worlds through 3D modeling, including texturing and lighting. They also learn character design, rigging, and animation. They also learn 360 filmmaking techniques and post-production, and creating immersive experiences through projection mapping and interactive installations. Also at the core of creating immersive experience is storytelling. So students learn how to create immersive narratives. The core software programs students learn include real-time 3D game engines, such as Unity 3D, 3D modeling software, such as Maya, and students also learn Adobe Creative Cloud, such as Premiere Pro and After Effects. They also learn audio tools and programming languages, including C#. This is not a predominantly coding course, so being set in Arts University, it focuses more on creative content creation and storytelling, but you will learn some coding for use with game engines such as Unity. Students also learn motion capture and 3D scanning. Students also do a theory unit, contextual and theoretical studies, where they study the history of immersive media, virtual reality, and mixed reality. They also study theory relating to moving image and media studies. So, through individual and collaborative projects, students investigate and explore their own unique creative approach, whilst building an awareness of professional working practices. In the process, we hope they become self-motivated creatives and lifelong learners who will remain ahead of developments in the creative industries. We try to keep up to date with the latest developments within the fields of immersive media and mixed reality, which is a rapidly evolving field, in order to provide students with the foundations to enter industry. So currently, we are going through a revalidation process. This process comes around every few years, and it allows us to modify and update the course to ensure it remains up to date with industry and technological developments. So who studies BA Honours Immersive Media and Mixed Reality? I get this question from some of the applicants who apply to this course. So our students come from a very diverse range of backgrounds. Some have very little experience in immersive media, whilst others have had some experience of, say, 3D modeling with software applications such as Blender. All our students have a passion to learn and explore this rapidly evolving field and its many potential applications, from games design to serious games such as training simulation, and even its potential applications in medicine and healthcare. So one of our students, Margaret, who is with us today, is interested in this field. I don't know, Margaret, would you like to tell something about your experiences? What you have decided on the course and how you arrived at the interests you have now?
Yeah, absolutely. I am currently in my final year, as David said earlier, and the way I arrived at where I am right now. So currently I'm mostly looking into going for surgical simulation and patient education VR experiences. That's kind of my primary focus and interest. But I got there through trials of doing traditional Chinese medicine VR experiences, like last year with acupressure. And then I've also tried going to more, I guess it was part of patient education, but some migraine games that it was gamified, but at the end of the day, it was more about awareness. My background is I come from a family, generations of doctors, so it's not too unfamiliar for me. I never personally thought I was going to be ending up in the medical field. It was always in the back of the head, but yeah, I was more into artistics and art, not artistics, that's not a real word, but more into art, creativity, and technology as well. And it was a beautiful medium when I found out about VR, because that combines a lot of my interests, and then kind of applying it to a more medical sense and healthcare just makes it have a positive impact, in my opinion. So that's kind of how I stumbled upon more my interests currently.
Thanks, Margaret, that's great.
Thanks.
So yeah, so as Margaret said, immersive media mixed reality covers a wide set of disciplines, and these are being embraced by a wide spectrum of technical and creative industries. So graduates have an exceptional range of career opportunities. So as Margaret said, there's the medical profession, there's also 360-degree filmmaking and post-production, 3D computer animator, games design, VR creative producer, also Unity developer for virtual reality and or games, and mixed reality experience designer. So there's a huge scope there. Okay, so studying at university. So apart from the course itself, the college also provides academic support workshops to support you with your studies throughout the course, such as essay writing, time management skills, research and library skills, and also they provide one-to-one tutorials. They also offer language development classes for students speaking English as an additional language. And they also offer creative courses such as life drawing. Now, we also have a team of technicians that provide workshops on creative electronics, creative coding, digital fabrication, and also immersive media technologies such as projection mapping. So on to your learning experience. So in terms of your learning experience, we're now back fully to teaching on campus. So however, there are still online activities happening, such as recording of sessions and seminars. We are now concentrating on being mainly back on the campus, as this is where the studios, workshops, library, and other facilities are available. So your scheduled learning and teaching activity will take the form of lectures, seminars, studio and workshop briefings, tutorials, external visits, and project briefings. So this is how the course looks across the 3 years. So it's broken up into 2 blocks, approximately 15 weeks long. So in the first year, you're introduced to immersive media and mixed reality. So this unit provides you with a general overview of the field and gives you an opportunity to experiment with and experience different tools and experiences. In the second year, this builds on what you have learned in the first year and gives you the opportunity to develop more advanced projects. There are also opportunities to collaborate across the program, college and university with other students from different courses. And we also have collaborative projects with other universities too. So this term, the second year students are doing a virtual collaboration with students studying journalism and documentary filmmaking at Universidad del Desarrollo in Santiago, Chile, producing a 360-degree documentary film project. And finally, in year 3, you get to put all that you have learnt into producing a final major project and thesis. And these projects go towards producing the final major show. So also across the years, you will do professional practice units where you're introduced to how to write CV, how to present your work, building up a portfolio, and those kind of activities. We also have guest speakers that come in and talk about industry opportunities. And also there's the theatrical studies as well, as mentioned earlier, in history and theory. So in terms of facilities, across the campus at LCC, there are 3D workshops. There's also the kit room, where you will book out equipment such as VR headsets and 360-degree cameras. The kit room has Oculus Quest 2 headsets that students can book out and take home, so you can try out different VR experiences at home and also continue working on your VR projects outside of college time. There's also the digital space, which has computers that students can use for 3D modeling, film editing and post-production. And they also run training workshops in how to use the software. There's also the Creative Technology Lab, which I will talk about a little bit more in a moment, where you have the opportunity to try out different creative technologies and also creative coding. So more course-specific facilities. So we have a dedicated VR classroom with HTC Vive headsets and computer workstations with specialist software such as Maya 3D and Unity 3D, and also post-production software such as Adobe Premiere and After Effects. Also, there are the VR booths in the Creative Technology Lab, which are equipped with HTC Vive headsets as well. Students also have access to the Oculus 2 headsets, as I mentioned, and 360-degree video cameras. And we also have professional industry standard motion capture and green screen facilities. So staff expertise. So on the course, we have staff with varied backgrounds and wide-ranging skill sets. Many of our lecturers are practicing artists producing immersive artworks, but we also have industry experts. So Herman, for example, he initially started out in architecture, doing 3D modeling, and then he moved into game design as an environment artist. And he now teaches Unity 3D to the students in their second year. So we also have Manos. He's a CG artist and animator and has worked as an art director in the industry as well. So collaboration, as I mentioned earlier, we collaborate with other courses across the program in the school. So in the year 2, students get to collaborate with students from games art, sound and animation within the moving image and digital arts program. We also have collaborations with courses at other colleges in the university. Presently we have a year 3 student collaborating with London College of Fashion students exploring digital fashion for their augmented reality project. And as I mentioned, we also have international collaborative projects with other universities worldwide. So there's the 360-degree documentary filmmaking project taking place at the university in Chile. And we're also building collaborations with other universities in Europe, United States, and Asia. So connected to industry. So we have regular guest speakers from industry, such as from design agencies, game design studios, 360-degree filmmakers and artists working in immersive media. They come in to talk about different aspects of what they do. For instance, if they are a game designer, they may talk about level design in games. Or if they're a filmmaker, talk about directing immersive films. Or if from a museum or gallery, they may talk about curating. We also have practicing artists who come in and talk about their work too. So as I explained earlier, our students come from very diverse backgrounds and their work often reflects this. So I'd like to show you some of the student work. So So the first one I was going to show you is a first year project. It's called My Perfect Holiday Destination. And this was a project with 3D modeling and animation. So that was a project by one of our first year students, Margarita. And so they're tasked with the project brief of designing and building their own perfect holiday destination. This project gives them the skills in 3D modeling with Maya and an animation. The next project is by Anita. This is another year 1 project, and I will play this for you. Okay, so there's a first year project where the students get to make a music video of from an artist of their choice. So this was just a test scene by the students, and it's actually filmed in a VR headset as well. So this next project is a character design and animation project. And this is also by first year student as well.
Prendo la Vila Morena, terra da fraternidade. O povo é quem mais ordena dentro de ti a cidade. Dentro de ti a cidade.
So that was a first year project in character design and animation. Students were given a brief to create a character and an animation to do with a festival that is from where they come from. So finally, I have a second year student project to show you called Checkmate VR Game. So that's the second year student project where they get to create a VR game with Unity Games Engine. So on to application process and your personal statement. So for the application, we ask for a personal statement. In terms of the personal statement, what we want to do is get to know you and why you're interested in applying. So we are interested, why you were interested in immersive media and mixed reality. So you tell us why you would like to join the course, and I would like to know that many of you might not be sure at this stage, and that is all right. You can tell us about your interests instead. what you enjoy. That might be playing games or watching films. So ideally, we want to get to know what inspires you creatively. There we go. So that brings me to the end of the presentation. If you have any general queries, you can email these email addresses here. There's also, if you have any inquiries about accommodation, student support, or scholarship and fees, then these email addresses here will give you the answers. So that's the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. So now our colleague is going to read out the questions that are in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you so much, David. So yeah, as mentioned, if you do have any questions, please pop them in the questions tab and we will get them answered for you. There have been a few coming through. One is actually for Margaret. Specifically, what are your plans after you graduate? And then I wondered, David, if you could expand on what people do after they graduate.
Yeah, thank you for Reggie. Absolutely. What are my plans after I graduate? During my summer internship this summer, I went to Imperial College London to Digital Media Lab there, and I interned as an XR technical artist pretty much there for about 2 months, and then I've been on and off talking with them about the potential of me going there to work full time right after I graduate. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's my plan. In terms of any kind of backup plan or something, I'm predominantly looking into going to educational institutions or something along those lines and working there on already existing XR tech. And I do really want to get a master's. I'm not quite sure whether I should get it right after I finished my BA and I should work for a little bit, or after a year or so having gained some experience in the industry. But overall, I'd say vaguely that's kind of my plan.
Brilliant. So in terms of potential careers, so this is a very new course. It's only been running for 2 years. It's now into its 3rd year. So Margaret's going to be amongst the first cohort of graduates, which is very exciting. So, and also the immersive media mixed reality field is relatively new and it's just sort of like beginning to take off. But as I mentioned earlier, sort of potential careers for graduates are things like Unity VR developer, 3D modeling and animation, even VFX, 360-degree filmmaking and post-production. So students could go into game studios, film production studios, visual effects, also digital design agencies are starting to embrace immersive media mixed reality for creating immersive brand experiences. There's also heritage, so museum exhibits, and also architecture and education. And as Margaret said, virtual simulations for training. So yeah, there's quite a few opportunities that are going to definitely be coming along.
Brilliant, perfect. Thank you so much. There's another question about do we need any prior knowledge of the subject, or is there anything in particular that we need to know before starting the course?
So, well, the first thing to say is it's not a coding-based course, so we're interested in your creativity. So primarily about the creative application of immersive media. So you will learn some coding to use a range of software for content creation. So software is changing all the time. So learning a particular piece of software in order to get a job is not necessarily sort of the ideal solution. It should be more about think about the creative processes. So I mean, there's core software such as the Adobe Creative Cloud. So I would recommend familiarizing yourself with Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, and After Effects. But my advice is focus more on the creative process. So I hope that answers the
Perfect.
question.
Yeah, I think that I think it does. There is also another question about what is the balance between theory and practice? Is it mainly practice-based?
It is mainly practice-based, yes. So you do roughly, so depending on which year you're in, so in the first and second year, you generally do 3 practice, you have 3 days of practice a week, and 1 day of theory. So you usually do 2 practice units a year and 1 theory unit a year.
Perfect. And just to expand on that, how many hours a week roughly are you in, like, each year?
So the sessions are usually about 3.5 hours long, and so students, they have 2 taught sessions a week, and then they have another 2 workshop sessions as well, which are like seminars and sort of supervised independent learning and tutorials. And then there's also the 3.5-hour theory unit as well. So as an overall figure, I can't actually plug that off the top of my head, but it gives you a rough idea of how your week is structured.
Perfect, thank you. There is a question for Margaret, and that is, what have you enjoyed most about the course, and how did you decide that this was the course you wanted to do today?
I'm gonna start from the second part of the question, how I decided to do this course, and then kind of answer what I've enjoyed so far. I did a foundation year in London, and during that foundation year, I was doing film. I think it was screen, theater, and performance design. And I don't know if you can tell by the name of it, it's very broad, and it's a lot of things that you want to do at the same time. And that's kind of where I was at. So I was thinking, oh, costume design, no, also scene design or lighting design, sound design, everything. And then I was also working at a art auction house parallel. And one day my boss, she pulled me aside and she told me about VR and how this is a very interesting medium. And mind you, that was before Quest 2 came out. So no one really properly knew about VR that much. I mean, people knew about it, but not so much. And when I started looking into what VR is, I kind of realized that, wow, the potential is amazing and you can pretty much build anything and have a person be whoever they want to be. Basically, it's a creative heaven, and that's how I looked on the website and there was a BA for that, and I thought, perfect, this is it. And then so far, by being on the course, I've enjoyed mostly the fact that all the assignments have been very structured, but at the same time very open-ended. So let's say a music video, that's, you know what you're doing, but at the same time you can take it anywhere. You can run with it and make anything you want. You can even make a game as your music video. You don't have to just make the traditional sense of music video. I've enjoyed the people on my course. Everyone is super lovely and nice, and we've organized a VR club together, and now we have that running in LCC and throughout the whole university. So anyone can really reach out to us and talk about VR, and that way you can communicate with people outside of LCC and outside of our course as well. I've also enjoyed the kind of the outcomes, I guess, seeing everyone's work once it's done. It's always insightful because you not only you learn something by yourself while making your project, but then you learn about something else while looking at someone else's project and seeing, oh, you can do this. Wow, that's a very cool, interesting idea. And so that constant exchange of information, because it's an emerging technology that never fails to surprise and kind of impress at times. I hope that answered. I hope I didn't rant for too long, but yeah, I hope that answered your question.
No, I think that's brilliant. That's super, super useful to hear. I think everybody likes to hear about experiences and how, yeah, how the course has been for other people that are actually on it themselves. There is another question, and it is about, do you have a final project in the last year? Is this something that your course does?
Who do you want to answer that, Margaret or myself?
Probably David, if that's okay.
Yep. So yes, there is a major project. So that's what Margaret is actually going through at the moment. So in the third year, you have your final major project. So it's the theme is student-led. So students are able to pick what they wish to do. So they choose the topic, and they can also choose the medium. So it could be a VR experience, could be a game, could be augmented reality, or it could be an interactive installation. So yeah, and then they work throughout the year producing their projects. So we try to get students to work collaboratively, either within the actual unit or with other courses within the college. So as I said, so we have one student who's hopefully going to be collaborating with London College of Fashion, and I believe we have another student who's going to be collaborating with the Sound Arts BA program students. Yeah, and that final major project will go towards the final summer show.
Perfect, thank you so much. That leads on quite nicely to the next question, and that is about collaboration. So are you able to collaborate with other courses?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we try to encourage as much collaboration as possible. So we want to try and mirror, the real world industry experience. So if you were working in a production studio, you have various people with different roles. You might have a sound design engineer, you have your animators, modelers, you have, depending on the size of the studio, you may have people who will be working independently on lighting, for instance, or texturing. So we like to try and get students to experience the full range of possibilities, but also to, like I say, work collaboratively, work with people from, say, sound arts or from games design as well, so they can learn about things like level design in games, that sort of thing. So yes, there's definitely as much collaboration as possible.
Brilliant, thank you so much. So that is all of the questions for today. Thank you guys for attending, and thank you for presenting, David, and for Margaret helping. So that is the end of the session. Thank you guys for attending. I'm going to close the session now.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.